And the Oscar goes to.
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 Philip Seymour Hoffman.
Morgan Freeman.
Robin Williams and Good Will Hunting. Daniel Day-Lewis. And mine goes to Daniel Day-Lewis.
And the award goes to Daniel Day-Lewis.
Abandoned my child.
Say it louder. Say it louder.
I've abandoned my child! I've abandoned my child! I've abandoned my boy!
A sad truth that we all have to become accustomed to is that our favorite actors are getting older, and we will never be able to see them explore more characters and convey them in ways that engages us into any material. The legends that we once knew are fading in the background of every movie, and it is a hard pill to swallow. Age is a big factor in limiting the amount of roles they'll get in a massive budget movie. These acting legends left so many stories for us to indulge in and admire a level of complexity that we've never seen before. And that longing in movies like that had that love and dedication to the craft has somehow made me more resentful of the mainstream films that come out these days. I'll go back in years seeking that feeling of excitement that I used to experience when I saw Daniel Day-Lewis's face on a poster of a movie. No one will ever be able to replicate the realistic performances that Philip Seymour Hoffman did. No one will ever be as good as Robin Williams at eliciting these strong emotions that seeps through your body to touch your soul. No one will ever be as natural of a talent as Leonardo DiCaprio. This Boy's Life, The Basketball Diary, Catch Me If You Can, The Aviator, brilliant filmography. And not forgetting about the man that truly proved that there are levels to acting. He exceeded all of those levels and showed us something beyond our expectations of what acting is about. Through all of his movies, his performances were one of the most consistent acting I've ever seen. There had never been a movie where I thought to myself, oh no, he did bad on that one. He's not just an actor that pretends to be someone. Now when talking elite acting, he morphs into these characters. He plays the mannerisms, the voice, the pattern of thinking. All of these elements are not visible for the viewer, but it's vital to him. It helps him paint the picture of what the character is like and what it represents to the people. Self-destruction, love, greed, and hopelessness. All the legends that I've just mentioned had something in common, and that is the sense of dedication to the craft. In the movie Phantom Thread, Daniel Day-Lewis spent 2 years learning how to sew. Imagine spending 2 years constantly struggling to get the thread into the needle. Now, if that's not dedication, I don't know what it is. How can I miss Leonardo DiCaprio's amazing performances throughout his phenomenal career? I call him the master of expression. Every time you see this man on the screen, it almost feels like his performances are demanding you to pay attention to him, and nothing but him will excite you about the movie. Leo's acting, it kind of falls into the same style of acting that Jack Nicholson does. He's animated with his face and the body language too, and it's quite rare to see actors like him these days. And that sense of theatricalism is attached to all of his work. His facial expressions reminds me a lot of John Dahl and how he moves. He's always on the edge, stressed out over something. Dustin Hoffman. Man, it is really sad to see one of your favorite actors play an old man when he's an actual old man. Gwyneth Paltrow was only 22 when she played 32-year-old Brad Pitt's wife in the movie Seven. And Sophia Petrulo, whatever, she was 50. She played a lady that's 80 years old. I don't think 50 years old is old. Ladies, there's some truth to what you're seeing in front of you. That's what I was trying to say. An actor in his caliber that achieved so much, and I'm talking The Graduate, Rain Man, Midnight Cowboy, I'm walking here, Marathon Man, and oh baby, Hook. Ooh. I never thought throughout my 20 years of living on this earth that one day I'll watch a movie where two, what I call the best actors on the planet, are together on the same screen. That is crazy. And for these new actors that we frequently see on our screens, they're just a bunch of one-hit wonders. Their skills will never be close to those who were before them. And here's the thing, I don't believe there has been a better acting from the full cast of The Godfather as a whole than any other movie ever created. The amount of love that they put into these roles impacted me for decades long. And yes, some movies back then might have missed on that realistic style of acting that is now frequently used, but the acting that they displayed is their own thing itself. Robin Williams. He's one of a kind. He has the ability to transfer the emotions of pain and joy seamlessly. His performances are just contagious. Robin Williams shared so much time and energy to us as fans. The work that he put out was life-changing. To me, and I'm pretty sure for many people too. He has this way with words. That soft, compassionate, and loving tone of his never left my mind. Oh, Captain, my Captain. The moment I glance at any picture of him, a tape in my head of all of his iconic lines plays in my mind. When I first heard that he passed away, it truly scarred me for a long time. But now I know his work will live forever and ever. And speaking of impact, Morgan Freeman is a living legend. When it comes to the actors that left their mark in the industry, Morgan Freeman would be the first one that would be mentioned. Michael Jordan was an actor. He'll be Morgan Freeman. What most Hollywood actors are lacking currently is a voice, something that would make them stand out from the others. And that's why people are gravitating to actors like Morgan Freeman, Robin Williams, and Dustin Hoffman. They all have their own way of not just acting, but leaving a mark that the fans will recognize. Brad Pitt eats, Leo raising the glass, Kevin, forgot, he's not even a good actor, my bad. Morgan Freeman. Morgan Freeman is so old. His young photos of him are old. That's how old this dude is. This man has been a legend since birth. He blessed us with astonishing movies. Shawshank is one of them. That performance was beautiful. And if you didn't watch that movie, they should put you in that prison for a mistake that you deliberately committed. Another movie is Glory, starring Morgan Freeman and his fellow acting legend, Denzel Washington. Talk about great acting. This movie gave us a constant reminder that there's levels to this shit. Denzel and Morgan demonstrated that in this masterpiece. It might have been the first time that I've learned that you can send emotions just by using your eyes. Denzel's eyes were the gateway to exploring that moment of pain and anguish that he was experiencing. And another terrifying truth that Jack Nicholson stopped acting for a long time, and it almost feels like he does not have it in him to give more to his fans. You can just collect all of Jack Nicholson's work and put it in a museum. People all around the world would just go there just to see his amazing work. No, I wouldn't go. Really? Come on. No. Why would I? I mean, when you actually think about it, I wouldn't go myself. But you get my point. 5 easy pieces. The Departed, Chinatown, Easy Rider, As Good as It Gets. The name says it all, because I wouldn't think he would be doing it in today's age. If you're looking for someone to make you actually shit your pants just by playing a fictional character, watch Jack Nicholson. He played the most peculiar, bizarre, disturbing characters, and he delivered that shit with extra sauce, baby. He might not be consistent, but I'll bet your ass he'll give it to you when the time comes. Pause. Did I forget someone? Well, the more I talk, the more I forget about the great actors I didn't mention. Tom. And I ain't talking about the friendly neighborhood Tom. I'm talking about the toy that got a snake in his boots. Tom Hanks. God, there's so many good Tom Hanks movies. This guy's a machine. Sir, you're a machine. But he's surely gifted with such an aura that attracts people to him. He's charming and hilarious. Most of his movies represented this innocent and loving character that was just trying to do the right thing. Tom Hanks' acting is not embellished with no pretentious Hollywood screaming and crying. His performances seem real and pure from all showboating. He talks to the camera more than he whispers to it. I hope you're picking up on what I'm putting down. We are the friends that will venture this journey with him until he fulfills his goal. All of the leadership roles that he played were suitable for him because his voice is just so commanding and heroic. So if Tom Hanks watching, he's not watching. Can I dream for once? Like, Tom Hanks' best performance for me is in Forrest Gump. It took a lot from him to play this wounded character that had to persevere so much adversity. I became more appreciative of acting after hearing what Conor McGregor said about acting.
Hard work it was, Joe Rogan spoke on, there's no way it'd be harder. Hey, who done them both? I done them both, so I'm the man to speak on this, not you. It was fucking hard work, Joe, that's the truth, brother.
Just to be clear, Conor only suffered half of what actors actually go through. And that is, starting as an actor is much harder than finding yourself in a $60 million movie with an already established career. Think about this. Over 2,500,000 performers. Only 2% get to make a living out of acting. Now that shit is insane. And you can argue that there are other professions that are same difficulty. And I'm pointing at the statistics. Thank you, Timothy. Since the statistics informed us on how hard it is to become an actor, my brain can't fathom how many levels these acting legends have surpassed. All the trials and tribulations they've gone past. Was luck involved? Or hard work and dedication? Or both? These days, some random actor or actress just go viral for the way they look, and their career just skyrockets to the top, not having the adequate skill to fulfill this position. And I ain't pointing any fingers. Some actors or actresses are just picked for absolute appearance only, and I'll blame studios for that one. Back in the day before our days, it was a little different. Look at Morgan Freeman. He sure hell's not as good looking as Austin Butler, but he can teach him a lesson or two about acting. And in my humble opinion, Morgan Freeman is the best actor that has ever existed. There's so many great actors that I didn't mention, and it deeply hurts me not to acknowledge all of their work, but don't worry, I'm doing a series on each one's filmography. As we close this dusty, beautiful door that accumulated so much art and forged a foundation for later generations to explore and expand upon, we open a new door where we don't know where to go specifically. A time where studios are just rewriting the same script with small tweaks and VFX to tell you that, whoa, we're doing something new. A time where artists are being stripped away from their work and condemned if they were vocal on how they truly feel. Over-exhausting movie franchises that are just drained out of depth and creativity, and you get to see it die before you. This lasting mark shows us that the old generation of actors will hopefully drive the upcoming actors. Now let's talk about the upcoming shining actors. Now from what The Burst told me, there's a couple of golden apples around here in Hollywood, and the majority of them are coming out of TV shows. And you know how I feel about TV shows. If you don't know, I'll give you this clue. My knowledge of TV shows is limited, like a naked piece of glass, you can tell. So I did a little research, and what I mean by research, I didn't do research. There was a show that came out in 2019 called Euphoria. I don't know a lot about it, but there were plenty of tech talks about this guy, Jacob Elordi. So I checked this dude on YouTube, and this kid is, whoa, man, holy. It's quite impressive for someone who's not Jake Gyllenhaal or Denzel. I read the synopsis of the show and I didn't like it, but after watching a few YouTube clips, this new generation of actors are dummy good. Pay attention to this scene.
I said take a step back.
Fuck you!
Keep it up.
Oh, you think you're tough now, huh?
I have no context of what's happening, but I wish the show is not full of screaming, because that's not the only indication of good acting, but a part of it. Micro-expressions and emotional repression is something we see a lot at the highest level of acting. Of course, the face of the new gen of actors is Timothy, and he put out great movies. Beautiful Boy, The King, Little Women. That movie was heartwarming, and plus the color grading was stunning. Although I'm not a fan of Denis Villeneuve's sci-fi movies, Dune gave so much space to Timothy to flex his acting, and he Amazon delivered that performance. A minor. Another shining star that popped out of nowhere with his TV series, Bear, and that actor is Jeremy Allen White. It makes sense how he made it. As usual, I saw a video on YouTube of this show, and it was a 7-minute monologue, and it was jaw-breaking. I adore how experimental they were with the scene. Like what his dead brother said, they've let it rip. He ripped it. I think the style of writing and acting is kind of old school when you think about it. The characters frequently externalize their thoughts and feelings openly, and it just reminds me of the straightforward expression of emotions in movies like The Green Mile. Talking about straight, there's nothing more straight than Elvis's hair. And Austin Butler not only got Elvis's hair, but his voice. This motherfucker killed it. And I will add him to the list of the new greatest gen actors. The fact that he got the voice and the mannerisms down to a T is cool. Even his work in the recent Dune movie was decent. I am liking the consistency, and that's what the majority of actors should aim for if they want to be one of the best. And I'm just talking about performances, not the whole movie. You can't carry the whole movie. An actor that I didn't talk about, and that is Robert Pattinson. This is going to sound crazy, but Robert Pattinson is one of the best actors of this new generation. And saying that about him, not because he played Batman, which I love that performance and I can't stop rewatching the Batman, but his work in The Devil All the Time, Tenet, Good Times, Lighthouse. The mustache on his face changed his facial expressions and made it a million times better. And as we became aware that Robert Pattinson has the gifted ability of sharing his emotions through eye contact and body language. Like, you guys didn't watch the Batman? Let me tell you about the whole story. So the movie starts with a fade in and Batman's voice over just like in the background of the session. Left to the Batman, and Yeah, and he said at the end we have to like persevere through the mental scars that we went through and the mental traumas. Yeah, that's it. Oh, God. You guys need to watch it. You know, I started this video with a pessimistic look on the new generation of actors. I was calling them lazy, money-driven. But when you truly dig deeper, you will notice a significant number of actors that are passionate and talented. Perhaps Tom Holland and Zendaya are ruining that image for me, but there's plenty of good, healthy fish in the sea. I'm hoping that studios stop making big budget movies because some of them don't need it. Studio heads, producers, and agents love huge budgets as they all are on percentages. It makes them stop caring about the movie, but instead how much they can get to make it. Things have changed due to the crazy fact that successful US films don't make their profits in the domestic US market anymore. And what I mean by that is the movies themselves need to be easily understood in overseas markets. That's why the majority of movies that come out these days have bad material. Cinema is not what it used to be, and also the actors that we loved are just taking the back seat. But what I should do is just hope that these future years actors will evolve, and so the movies too. There's so much potential with these actors that shouldn't be wasted on fashion events or interviews with fucking puppies. I love puppies. And I'm not leaving these wrestlers that are making these amazing creative decisions, especially that bald, muscular man that is just a walking meme. He ruined Black Adam. That pissed me to a great degree as a DC fan. I'm not going to dive into this, but Hollywood should stop spoiling superstars and look for people that want to make a good movie and not screw with its source material. The future holds plenty of surprises, and I'm excited about what the upcoming actors would do and give us as audience. There's a quote that goes, to improve is to change, to be perfect is to change often. And hopefully the change would be for the better. Change is inevitable, and this video will change your mind on the Fall Guy movie and how mediocre it was. So give it a try and watch it. Watch it. Please watch it. Click it. Clickety click. Click, 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 click. Click, click, click. Click, click, click.